All right, peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, and we're live on our Power of Ownership podcast. Real quick, I know I'm coming to you late. I'm supposed to come in on uh Sunday morning, but Stephen Contreras is out of town. He's in Colorado. We were supposed to do it at 4 o'clock, but he got busy. So coming to you on Tuesday. And then I'm gonna come to you again on Sunday as well. So we're gonna keep it going. Let me do a quick introduction because I don't want to keep you too long. I want to make this quick point, and I want you to go back to setting up your goals for 2020. But I want you to incorporate this into your goals. So that's why I'm gonna make this a quick show. But let me start off with the intro. Again, this is the Power of Ownership podcast. This is your host, Brandon B. Dixon. I'm a published author, mortgage broker, serial entrepreneur, community activist, so on and so on, sales trainer, life coach, so on and so forth. My book, Sales, the Nucleus of Any Profession, is out right now. It's on sale for the holidays, $13.33. I'm gonna put it out till I sell out the current stock. Then once I do that, it's gonna be back on regular price. So go ahead and get that book. It's a nice book to read right before your 2020, so you can make you six figures. That should be your goal, to make you six figures in 2020. So it's a nice read. It's quick. You could probably read it in one weekend, or even cram on it one day if you could concentrate. If you could, remain focused. So the Power of Ownership podcast, I want to go over that real fast. We talk about ownership of not only businesses, but ownership of properties, intellectual properties. Also, we bridge the gap between the ownership of the mind, body, and soul. So we kind of take the unseen realm and talk about it, how to bring the unseen realm into the seen realm. So we give you all the complete working tools to do so. You just have to listen up, retain that focus, and listen up to what I'm saying, and put what we're saying into use. Real quick, if you need a mortgage, I'm a mortgage broker by trade. So HOCmortgage.com. Now's the time. Start now if you want to get into home ownership for 2020, or if you want to start your rental portfolio. Now's a great time to start. While it's kind of everything's winding down, a lot of people are kind of putting it to that lower gear for the holidays. Now's the time to pick it up and invest while everybody slumbers. That's when you should work. So, for the overachievers that's fans of the show, that's the best time to do it. So let's get it going. HOCmortgage.com. BillionaireLoanOfficer.com. Again, if you want a coach for 2020, if you want to get sales coaching, sales training, you want to outdo yourself, you want to get better, the best people, the most successful people have coaches, period. Hire me. I'm one of the best in the business. www.billionaireloanofficer.com. You can book me for motivational speeches, coaching, accountability coaching, sales training, so on and so forth. You want to be a mentee. We have a couple of spots available for 2020. I'm going to mentor about 3 people in 2020. So if you want to get on that train, go ahead, hit me up, www.billionaireloanofficer.com. Also, at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Go ahead, follow me. I like to say this before we start the show. Thank you to everybody. We're now over 1,000 people subscribed. We want to get to 1,500, of course. We hit that goal, so now we got to reach another goal. So 1,500 before the end of the year is the goal. So don't forget, before Christmas, we're going to be giving a big screen TV to all up to one lucky winner out of all the people that we recently signed up. So we're going to be giving away a big screen TV. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead right into the show, because a lot of people like me to cut to the chase, but again, everything is, I gotta plug my stuff before we go any further. How does relationships relate to business? And if you're a fan of my Instagram, check out 15,000 followers. I need to boost that up as well. Help me to get to 20,000 followers. So, tell a friend to tell a friend. We talked about on my 8th vlog, which is all positive energy, we talked about how relationships relate to business and how relationships make you grow as a person, and that's what they're here for. We kind of talked about that briefly, and we're going to expound on it. Let me say this first, and I'm repeating myself. If you hadn't watched the 8th vlog, go back and watch it, but I'm repeating this off the 8th vlog. Your business, if you're in business right now, your business will never outgrow you. Let's just get that out of the way first. Your business will never outgrow you. So if you have certain ways about yourself, and you keep hearing this over and over and over for different sources, chances are it's true. Your business will be stuck at that level what you're at. If you still egotistical, you can't get your ego out of the way in order to get the greater good, then your business is going to suffer accordingly. It just is what it is. Most of the rich people, most of the successful people, you think are narcissistic, but they're not. They understand people and have people skills and know how to relate to people and get them to do a job for them. I give you an example. Management means this. Management means motivating other people or getting the job done through other people. That's what management means. So if you can't manage a group of people, you can't manage a business. You won't be able to run a successful business. There's no way that you could get rich by yourself. Period. It just doesn't happen. Even if you're a singer or a rapper or whatever, you're going to have a inner circle. You're going to have somebody that's managing your affairs or booking flights or whatever. So you're always going to have to deal with people on some level. So even if you're not running a mega business with a retail business or something, like a retail business or something to that effect, even a small business, even a small internet business, you're going to have to grow that business. And you're going to have to deal with people, and you're going to have relationships with people. It just is what it is. You're not getting around that. Unless you want to win the lottery or something to that effect, and you just want to live off of that lottery earnings, but good luck with that. So there's no way you're going to get rich learning how to deal with people. It just is what it is. So let's start back to the beginning. So like I said before, relationships are placed here. Let's talk metaphysical, for us to learn how to deal or learn how to deal with not only ourselves, but experience growth through our own eyes, through our own experience. Remember the covenant. Remember, when we come here into the flesh, all of our memory gets wiped clean. Our cognitive memory gets wiped clean. Our subconscious is still there. Plus, through your DNA, the memory is still stored and all that stuff. You learn how to tap into it later on, but you get wiped clean so you can experience everything fresh. How we learn is through experience, through activity. That's the only way you're going to know your tendencies, know what your likes, your dislikes, your strengths and weaknesses through activity, through interaction. That's how we learn. So, say relationships is not just between, male, female on a dating type tip. It's relationships with your family members. It's relationships with coworkers now. It's relationships with even with your employees if you have a small business. It's relationships with your neighbors. I'll give you an example. How many of y'all, and you can leave the comments at the bottom, let's be honest. If you're in business, how many people your whole neighborhood knows what you do? If you're a realtor, how many of you realtors, your neighbors, all of your neighbors, I'm talking about your whole street, know you're a realtor? Simple stuff like that is this. How can you want to take over and be number one in real estate And in your own community, half of them don't know what you do. That's one thing. So you never develop that relationship with your neighbors. You know, that's what it starts on that base level. So anything from relating to the neighborhood kids that's playing football out in the street, you know, how can you be in business and nobody knows who you are? How can you promote strictly online and the person right next to you don't even know who you are in real life? So forming those relationships starts with your block. Starts with not only your immediate family, but it starts with your neighbors as well. Secondly, all right, on the family tip, let's say you're starting a business. Most people exhaust their family and friends, but how many people that have half of the family that they don't even mess with? How many of you are the ego so in a way you can't apologize or can't make amends with those family that you have a small probably misunderstanding about, probably parking in the wrong spot at last Christmas or whatever. You can't bury the hatchet in order to make some money. And you expect to grow like crazy. And you can't even make amends with your own family members. So how can you make amends with, how can you expect the employee to forgive you? Or how can you expect the customer to forgive you if you make a mistake and you can't even bury the hatchet with some of your own family members? So all this relates to one another. So it starts with relationships with your family and your neighbors from there. And the universe will test you. Things will come up that you personally need to deal with. And it's going to keep on surfacing until you actually deal with that. It just is what it is. So, and you can't run from it. Most people run from their insecurities. Most people run from their problems. Most people run from, excuse me, facing their weaknesses. And they look around and they're 50, 60 years old, miserable, and wonder why you never grew. You never had any growth because you never ran to and faced and dealt with your weakness. It just is what it is. And those relationships are going to be the manifestors of your weakness. And you're going to have to deal with it. So if you have trust issues, if you have whatever type of traumas that you had as a child, the universe will test you and force you to grow. And if you run from it, it's going to resurface again and again and again and again. So you might as well buckle down and deal with it and learn how to deal with it. Learn to get the working tools and practice and get better at dealing with your shortcomings, because everything you think is to point the finger at somebody else that you think is their issue or their problem. It really is your perception and how you perceive yourself. It all comes back to you. So until you deal with yourself, these things are going to keep popping up. So you have to get better yourself. That's just what it is. First rule of management, everything is your fault. It just is what it is. Everything is your fault. I mean, most people are like this. They can't get out of their own way. They think that the universe works against them. And they hadn't figured out that it's all harmony. People look at the walls of Kemet in Egypt and don't understand what you're seeing in the hieroglyphics. And this is all harmony. You're everything. So people I always want to point fingers and this is the boogeyman, this is the bad guy, this is the good guy. Nah, it's all you. And you got to learn how to harmonize yourself with what's going on. Go with the flow. Go with the flow and grow. So go with the flow doesn't mean do nothing. Go with the flow, learn how to learn the flow and learn how to orchestrate the flow with inside the rules that we have going on. I know I'm talking over a lot of people's head, but harmonize, be one with the universe. And it doesn't mean do nothing. Do nothing is worse than doing something and doing the wrong thing. Because inactivity is not why we're here. We're here for activity. That's why all our cells are moving at the same time. We're here for activity. We're here to do things in its third density. So learn what to do and do it. So it's just what it is, and learn how to be one with the universe. Learn how to make the universe work for you, because it's going to work for you either way it go. Even if you try to work against yourself, it's still working for you. You just don't know how to control it yet. And that's what all these tools are here for. I'm here for. Book me, billionaireloanofficer.com. I can help you get at one with the universe and learn how to work, how to make it work for you. You want to work smarter, not harder. That's just what it is, unless you program yourself that you want to work hard. And then the universe is going to give you what you want. You're going to work hard to get earn, the same thing that everybody else it comes easy to, because they programmed the universe to work at their will. You got to learn how to do this. It just is what it is. One of the most important relationships that you can have is with yourself, with the universe, which is you, universe. So learn how to work that relationship first. Learn how to work relationships with your family members. Next, learn how to work relationships with your neighbors. Next, learn how to work relationships with your clients and your employees. Because if you don't grow, if you don't learn how to deal with these, get along with people, you can't bring things into fruition, or it will be harder to bring things to fruition into the third density plane. You should be like that maestro orchestrator to orchestrate everything that's happening and have everything moving according to your will. That's when you reach a master level. You can't get it by negativity. Negativity begets more negativity. I have an acronym that I keep on my chart right here. It says positive energy activates constant elevation. It's an acronym for peace. That's when you're at harmony. When you have the positive energy, it's going to activate constant elevation. You're going to keep rising and rising and rising. It just is what it is. Again, it all depends on you, though. I mean, if you're not here to outdo yourself, to be better, then you're going to be where you are. You're going to be stuck where you are. If you're open-minded to growing, outdoing yourself, then this is the podcast. This is the tribe that you've been looking for. Most people are not here to get better. Most people are here to be on vacation and and actually experience struggle, experience heartache and hardship, and experience. That's why complaining about stuff feels better than actually doing it, because people know eventually if they do it, it's actually going to go to fruition. That's why they sabotage themselves. They don't want to do it so they can experience the opposite on the subconscious level. So you subconsciously sabotage yourself because you don't want to experience success. You're scared of success because now you're going to have to respond to your ability. You're going to have to face your responsibilities. A lot of people don't want the responsibility of success. A lot of people just want to, be in their little corner, be in their little own little world, and not make the world better, not work to make the world a better place. They're on vacation. They're here on vacation. They want to take take. I want to take what this world could give me, and that's what their intentions are. They're not trying to give anything. They're trying to take everything. They're trying to. I want to have these vacations. I want to go take pictures and take selfies in these different places, and I want to have everybody else finance the things that I want to do, and I don't want to work for them. I just want them given to me. If that's your, that's your MO, wrong podcast, wrong station. Go somewhere else. This is for people that want to work to get better, work to strive, and change the world. That's just what this is, and reach their goals. And they come to the maturation process. They went through the maturation process, and they come to the conclusion that nothing's going to happen randomly, and nothing's going to happen out of luck. So my mentor had the actual saying that the harder I work, the luckier I get. It just is what it is. So, and a lot of people, a lot of their religions play right into that. That's what, if God want me to have it, I'll have it. That's that lottery mentality. If it's luck, I scratch off, there's $1 million, then it's for me. If that's your mentality, wrong podcast. That's not how the universe works. Most of that, if you're going to base your life, and that's another thing. I want to tie these 2 points together, and I'm gonna get out of here. This society promotes that get lucky, success overnight, get rich quick mentality. They show the rappers that were one day they were in the slums, and then the next day they're filthy rich. They promote that idea, and 99.9% of the rest of the millionaires, that it didn't happen like that. It happened through hard work, dedication, rain, sleet, or snow mentality. And sometimes it happened through generations. This generation after generation, they build and build and build, and then their last name finally got rich after life insurances and stuff like that. So you got to come to the conclusion sometimes that you might not get the fruit of your labor in this generation. It might be for future generations. Some people are too selfish to endure that. They rather spend it all up and I want to enjoy myself while it's here, and then they leave nothing for their offspring. So sometimes it's the sacrifice of grinding for your last name, grinding for the next generation, so they can enjoy the fruits. But a lot of people, we lost that communal and sense of selflessness. That's gone. Everything is me, self, selfies, I. People got their self on their screensaver. They got a picture of themselves on their screensaver. So how selfish is that? So, and everything, the world revolves around them, which is true, but they don't know that you are the world. And I'll leave that like that. Let's go ahead and get out of here. I don't want to keep y'all too long. I just wanted to go ahead and make that point. Again, call me, 832-775-8357. Available 24/7 if you're talking business. You want to get coaching or you want to get a mortgage. Call me, 832-775-8357. At Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Again, go ahead, like, subscribe, DM me, whatever you got to do. I'm available. Last question before I get out of here. Have you set your goals for 2020 yet? At least started working on them. I would say get my book first, learn how to sell, then set your goals high for 2020. I always want to go over than under, because my philosophy is aim for the stars. If you hit the trees, then that's higher than the ground. That's how I work. So set your goals for 2020. One of your goals should be home ownership. If you want to get that done by 2020, start now. www.hocmortgage.com. Go ahead and fill out the application, and let's go ahead and get started. At least if you worried about credit or whatever, at least I can coach you and get you a game plan together where you can start working on your credit and maybe get in the house by the end of 2020, if not 2021. But you got to start now. Procrastination is sin. Again, At being a loan officer, if you want any coaching, I think I plugged that enough. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Remember that God is a verb and personal responsibility is your only savior. And with that, peace.